guys, welcome back to part 3 of my Space Empires playthrough of the solo Doomsday Machine scenario. If you've already watched my 2 previous videos, I have come as far as Economic Phase 6, and that's where I'm going to start this video at. And I'm going to start to try to move these videos along with less talking and less going into the rules. I will point out rules, obviously, when they are needed and necessary. I did want to, before I start, I've made a couple errors if you know the game and you've been watching a little bit. One of the errors I made was simply a total mistake. I picked up this shipyard that I had placed here several economic phases ago to show you how to put a numbered shit underneath it. I dropped it, and in that confusion, I forgot where I actually placed it. So the shipyard I had placed or moved here actually started there, so that's where it needs to end up. No big deal. It just, once again, it's put there so that I can try to get to the right side of the board over here. I may end up putting a shipyard somewhere in this area to try to be able to respond to that quickly. So let's go ahead and get started with Economic Phase 6. So I'm going to go ahead and do my calculations for income. So if you count them up, 23, 24, 29, 34, 39, 42, 47, I have 52. So I'm going to put in colony CPs of 52. Last time I was unable to collect any minerals because they're pretty much all out. I do have a miner out here getting ready to collect another mineral, but I don't have any others that are uncovered with the exception of that. So that's going to start to slow down. So no mineral CPs. Total CPs of 52. Now we go to the maintenance phase. All of my scout ships are dead, so their hull size don't count towards maintenance. But I do have one cruiser, which has a ship size, hull size of 2. So it's going to cost me 2 in maintenance. So I'm going to have a total of 50 to spend this turn. I'm going to invest in some technologies because once again, those Doomsday machines are getting close. I'm going to go ahead and invest in Defense 2. So that's going to cost 30. That's a lot, man. Defense 2 for 30. That leaves me 22. And then I wanted to invest, I really want to invest in exploration, although it's probably not smart, but I'm going to go ahead and do it just for fun. So exploration, I'm going to invest in, which cost me 15. So that means I have 7 left. I'm then going to buy another, I don't need any colony ships at this point. I'm actually just going to carry that over. Because I might end up going ahead and investing in upgrading my ships here, my cruiser that I have out. So yeah, I spent 45 out of 50, so I'm going to have 5, then we'll carry over. So invested in 2 technologies. That was an interesting turn, but that's what I did. So let's go ahead and go to turn 1 of Economic Phase 6. Let's do our movements. So at this point, if you remember, I had this cruiser here. It was bought under previous technologies. Now that I've increased Defense 2 and Exploration, I'm going to sit there this entire turn and I'm going to upgrade that ship. It's going to require that I pay 1 CP per hull size, and then it's going to gain all of those technologies. So that's why I'm doing that. So we'll go ahead and do that. I'll do that here at the end of the round. This miner's not going to move anywhere. There's nowhere to go. I'm going to leave that ship there. This miner's going to come back to try to dump off there. I have no other movements. So that was a very interesting and very simple turn. So we're going to go to turn 2. And I went ahead and spent the upgrades. And I'll show you that here on the sheet. So minus CP spent on upgrades, I spent 2. Remember, 1 per hull size. And then that ship group, which is CA1, and I have written here on the back, I got to do a little bit of a erasing. It now has Defense 2, and it has Exploration. So I'll circle that and I'll show you. Remember that, you're supposed to track those. So you'll notice my cruisers have Attack 1, Defense 2, Tactics of 0, Move of 1, and now Exploration of 1. So upgraded that ship. So let's go to turn 2. As a part of that, I'm going to move this cruiser here. Now the way exploration technology works, before that cruiser moves, I can uncover or peek at one of these adjacent chits, and then I can decide to turn it over. So I think what I'm going to do the next time when he moves, I'm going to peek here, move him here, and then I'll do some exploring here. So this miner, I'll probably just move it here because that puts him equidistant between these 3. What if there's a mineral? I'm going to go ahead and collect that. So that's my movement. This miner is going to come home and drop that off, and that's it, man. That's all I got. So now we go back to turn 3. I'm going to start with movements. So I'm actually going to explore this chit. Oh, space wreck. That's a good one. And then he's going to move here. So I'll talk to you about space wreck here in a moment, but space wreck, you need to move a miner onto it and begin towing it. So I've done that. You're going to tow that back to a colony, and then you're going to gain a random technology. You're going to go to a table, roll a die, and pick something up. So that's cool. For free. So I'm going to move my miner there to go get that other mine. So that's all for that turn. That was turn 3. Yeah, it's amazing how quick it can go when you don't have a ton of ships. So I've done all my explorations. I've done all my movements. That is now the end of phase 6. So now I'm going to go to the grow colonies phase. So this is going to turn up to 3. So you can see my colonies are now starting to grow considerably. That one's going to become a 5. That means this round I'm really going to have a lot of dollars to invest, which will be important because at the beginning of this economic phase, the first Doomsday machine will appear. And let me read that part to you just so you understand that. Let me find it, sorry. So the DMs will enter during the economic phase at the strength according to the table. And it's going to enter after I've done all my movements. Actually, it's going to enter and then it's going to move at the end of that economic phase. So I'm going to go ahead and calculate my income this time. 33, 38, 43, 53, 56, 59. So I have 64. I carried over 5, generated 64. I have this 1 mineral for 5. So that's total of 74 available. That's really good. My maintenance is still just 2. So I have 72 to spend. I think now we're going to do the roll for the entry of the first Doomsday machine. So I'm going to go ahead and roll that die here. I rolled an 8. And then I'm going to show you so in the rules for the scenario, and I'm playing the small scenario map, these are the locations where the Doomsday machine can and will appear. So you can see 7, 8, that is the one right here, which isn't, it's not great. I'm going to be honest. I was hoping it would appear more over that way, but that's where the Doomsday machine is going to appear. That Doomsday machine will be the strength 1. It'll have an attack strength of D7, a defense of 1, a hull of 6, and a number of attacks of 3. So I need to definitely get some ships ready and try to get that over there. Yeah, this is going to be hard, but I'll figure it out. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and spend all my resources. Obviously, I need to build some ships. That's going to be important. So I can build 4 hull points there. I'm going to buy 2 cruisers. Actually, I'm going to end up buying 3 total cruisers. So that's going to be 36. So CA times 3, 36. I'm also going to invest in attack 2 for 20. I'm sorry, for 30. It's going to cost me 30. So that means these new cruisers I bring out will have attack 2 and defense 2, whereas the one that's sitting over here will have attack 1, defense 2. That's okay. So that's 56. I still have 18 to spend. Man, I feel like I want to just buy a couple more. I might as well just buy another cruiser and maybe 1 more shipyard. I think I'll buy 4 cruisers, so that's going to be 48. And then I'll buy a shipyard times 1. So that's what I'm going to do. So cruisers. And remember, I can only place up to the hull size at these shipyards. So I have 4 shipyards at my home planet of Chulak. So I'm going to put 2 of the cruisers there. And then I'm going to have to spread the other cruisers out and place them at my other shipyards. So there we go. I'm also going to increase 1 shipyard. I'd probably just go ahead and do it here. No, that's short-sighted, Grant. Maybe I need to get where I'm upgrading my shipyards, frankly. So I'm going to go to 3 shipyards here. Yeah, I think next time I need to invest into upgrading shipyards so they can make more hull points themselves, and then attack 2. So that's what I did. I put 2 cruisers here, 1 cruiser here, and 1 cruiser here. I also have this cruiser as well. I'm going to begin moving over here. I'm most likely going to lose a colony, and that's just part of it. I might be able to get over there. So let's see how many I had left over. You know what? I don't think I could buy that. Couldn't buy that shipyard. I had 2 less. I was too short on my CP. So that's okay. I can still build everything, but then I'm going to carry over 6. Or not 6, 4. Sorry. I'm going to carry over 4. And we'll get back to it. So I'm going to carry over 4. I did a little minor math problem there. So yeah. So I ended up actually only having 72. Made a little bit of a error. So that means I had 70 to spend as opposed to 72. So I spent 68. I only have 2 left over. Got it corrected. So if you're sitting there screaming at me, I got it corrected. So here we go. Once again, I'm going to do all my turns before the Doomsday machine's going to move. So I'm going to have some time to try to get out there. So obviously I will move this cruiser there, that group of cruisers there. I'm going to go ahead and explore this. Found a mineral. I need to get that. So this cruiser will come up one space short because I have not invested in movement, which is not a great thing. And he's also not going to get there. So I'm going to go back to my planet. And let me real quick check the Space Rec rules, guys, and see when that happens. Okay, so it looks like it's going to happen when I would have normally collected CP points. So I'm not going to get that this round. That's okay. This miner's going to go here, and then he's going to run away from that Doomsday machine. So that's all my movements. This miner, so now to turn 2, miner's going to move there. Cruiser's going to move there and there and there and there. And then this miner will move back there. All right, that's all my movements. Now to turn 3, I'll jump on that mineral, move this mineral one closer. So I'm going to go ahead and move those cruisers there. And we'll see. I'm going to have to get some lucky rolling to defeat that Doomsday machine. But we'll hope for the best. So those are all of my moves. So now we go to the Doomsday machine. It's going to move in. So there we go. Contact. Our colony has its first contact. And now we're going to go to fight a round of combat. So I'm going to move the camera back here. And I'm going to create kind of a battle space right here so you can see. So bear with me. So I'm going to go ahead and get my cruisers. And both of these cruiser groups have the same technologies. Cruiser 3 and 2 have the same technology. So I'm actually going to just merge them together. I can do that. I don't think there's a rule against that. Maybe there is. And we have the Doomsday machine here. This Doomsday machine fires on a D. So in combat, you kind of create a battle line based on the alpha, or the alpha symbol that bases your firing priority. My cruisers have a firing priority of C. The Doomsday machine has a D, so I'm going to actually get lucky and I'm going to be able to fire all 3 of my cruisers before he gets to fire once. And that may end up being something that saves me. But I'm going to have to roll well. If I don't roll well, it's not going to be good. So, Defender always fires first. I'm the Defender and priority is on me, so I have a C. All of my ships have the same technology. They have attack 2. So I have an attack of 4 plus 2 from that attack technology. So that's a 6. His defense strength is a 1. So I'm going to reduce that from my attack total to a 5. So I'm going to get to roll 3 dice, hoping for 5s or less. So here we go. Bam. You guys see that? A 5, 4, and a 2. So I scored 3 total hits. And this Doomsday machine has a hull size of 6. So he can actually take 6 wounds before he's destroyed. So I did a great job there. All right, so now, and the way the Doomsday machine's going to fire, oh, you know what? I forgot to roll its weakness. Let me go back to that. I don't think it's going to matter in this instance. I rolled a 10. They have no weakness, so it didn't matter. So each time I encounter one of these in each battle, I'm going to roll for a weakness. And with my technologies that I've invested in, my weaknesses aren't necessarily going to bother it, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So it's going to get 3 attacks. It's an attack 7. My defense is a 2, so it also is going to hit on 5s or less. Okay, so it rolled a 9, a 7, and a 3. So I'm going to assign 1 damage to one of my cruisers. And the thing with attacking it, the Doomsday machine is going to try to kill your units, so it's going to attack the same one again and again. So now we go back to the beginning of combat. I have the advantage again. So I'm going to go ahead and roll. Okay, I only hit once this time. I only rolled 1 5, so I'm going to flip this damage marker. And that's okay. Could be worse. So having done 4 damage in 2 turns, I think that's all right. The Doomsday Machine's going to attack me again. Once again, he has an attack strength of 7, -2 for my defenses. He needs to roll 5s or less. Thank you, Doomsday Machine, you incompetent rolling piece of crap. He rolled 2 10s and a 7, so I don't get hit. So back to my attacks. I'm going to roll 3 dice, hoping for 5s or less. 3 hits, the Doomsday Machine is destroyed. Now you might be asking me, well, Grant, that was pretty easy. Well, I've played the game a couple of times, and this damage marker goes away now. I have played the game a couple of times. I have learned what I need to do, and getting cruisers with attack 2 and defense 2 is very, very important. I got that, therefore I was able to defend myself. Had I not had that, it would have been a completely different story. So I have now killed, officially, Doomsday Machine number 1. And then I place my cruisers in that area because that's where they're going to stay for the time being. Let's go ahead and... All right, so we're at the end of the economic phase. So as we know, the economic phase sees us grow our colonies. So I think this colony... So yeah, all 3 of my remaining colonies are going to grow to their maximum size. So I'm even going to have more this time to spend, and I'm going to have to spend it wisely so that I can really do some damage to the Doomsday. So we now go to economic phase 8. So I have carryover of 2, and now we're going to count up our economy: 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70. So I'm going to generate 70, and I don't have any minerals back. So 0 minerals, that gives me a total of 70. Now my maintenance is going to start to kick in because I have quite a few ships. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 cruisers out. That's going to cost 10 maintenance. And remember, 1 CP per hull size. So that leaves me with only 60 to spend. But the good news is I've got 5 ships that are ready to go, and they're actually equipped with exploration technology, so I can start exploring some of these deep space areas, hoping to get some minerals and other things, so that I can continue to develop my economy a little bit before the next Doomsday Machine appears. The next Doomsday Machine will appear at the beginning of economic phase 9, and will take its action at the end of phase 9. So I've got 2 phases to kind of prepare for that. So let's go ahead and spend my money. So I have 60. All right, so I need to invest. I need to invest in ship size 4, so I can build the next level of ship. So ship size 4, which costs 20. Then I need to invest in shipyards 2 to be able to place more ships, build more ships at each shipyard. That costs 20. So that's 40 that I've spent. I have 20 left to spend. I need to make a decision what I want to do. Oh, I know what I'm forgetting before I go any further. I need to roll on the table for this shipwreck. So I'm going to go ahead and place that chip off. Let me find that table. I'll show you the table. It's pretty basic. Okay, so it's the table on the back of the rule book. I'll show you right here. Shipwreck Technology Table 6.8. So I'm going to roll a 10-sider, and one of those different technologies is going to become available to me, and the rules are written such that it's the highest level that I can then get. So if I get an attack, I'm currently in an attack 2, I would then move to attack 3. So we'll see. Let's go ahead and roll. So you can see there's a 6. So defense. The table says I get defense. So I'm now going to obtain, as a result of finding an alien shipwreck, I'm going to find defense level 3, which gives me, I take one more die roll away from their ships. It's a good thing. So that won't change anything that I've done. Still upgrading my shipyards. And when I upgrade shipyards technology, currently my shipyards can make 1 hull point per shipyard in a hex. Now I've increased that to 1.5 ships per shipyard. So for instance, here I have 4. That means I can create 6 hull points worth of ships. I could build 3 cruisers there. Here I could do, now to 1.5. So I could do 3. So I could do a cruiser and a destroyer. So I got to remember that as I start planning, etc. So that's important. I have 20 to spend. I didn't find any new colonies, and I don't know that I need to worry about that right this second. Well, I almost am tempted to go ahead and invest in another ship upgrade. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to invest in Tactics 1. Cost 15. And the reason I'm doing that, you saw how nice it was that I fired first on that Doomsday machine. If I have higher tactics than it, I will get to fire even if we have the same firing category. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So that leaves me with 5 carried over. I do want to do some upgrades because not all of my ships, I'll do that during my first turn. So now I want to upgrade. I don't know that I'm going to be able to do all of them because I only have 5. But I will go ahead and upgrade some of my ships. Well, their attack and defense can't go higher for my cruisers. Maybe I won't do that. Maybe I'll wait. Maybe I will wait. So anyway, that's the economic phase. There's no grow colonies phase. I carry over, now I got to do all my actions for turn 8. I jumped no. So yeah, so now I carry over 5. Did I do a group of movements? No, I didn't, did I? I skipped my movements. So there we go. Turn 1 of economic phase 8. I'm going to start moving around. So I'm going to drop this mineral. That's a 10 mineral. That's good. Off there. This mineral is going to be dropped off. So I'm going to gain. So I jumped ahead. I apologize, guys. Usually a smart person, but looks like I'm getting a little confused as I have to play and think about all this stuff. So before I move here, I'm going to flip this chit over. I found a barren planet that I could colonize. He's then going to move here. I will move that ship there. It won't be able to do exploration. I will move that ship there. No exploration opportunities. And that's turn 1. Let's go to turn 2. Let's move that miner there. That miner there. I'm going to move this cruiser. Let's turn that over. So there's another barren planet. So he's going to move there. This will target this one, and oop, a black hole, but I'm not in there, so I'm going to move into the nebula. And I'll move that into the nebula. And then this miner is just going to sit there because I don't know of any other minerals I need to pick up. So now we're going to go to turn 3 in economic phase 8. We're in the movement phase. This guy's going to move, so he'll explore here. Wow, another barren planet. And he'll move here. This guy's going to move, explore up another, man, a lot of barren planets that I found. Yeah, I'll just move him here as well. And then here I'm going to choose this one before I move. A danger, that now goes away, so it's not going to affect me. That's a good thing. I'll move back here to this colony. I think that's all my movements. Starting to get a little sloppy now because I have a lot more counters on the board, which is okay. So yeah, we finish economic turn 8. And now let's go ahead and grow our colonies. We have no colonies to grow. Carry over a 5. Generate 70 for our colony CPs, and we picked up 15 in minerals, which is nice. So I have a total of 85 minus the 10 maintenance, which is the same. So I'm going to have 75 to spend. Let me go ahead and upgrade Tactics 2. It's only 15. For 15. Ship size 4. I can already start building a battle cruiser, so I need to keep that in mind. I'm going to upgrade Move once to Move 2, which is 20. And then I'm going to upgrade I'm actually going to hold off on upgrading. I need to buy, I need to do it now or I'm not going to be able to do it. So I'm going to upgrade Shipyards 3 for 25. So that means on technology this round, I spent 60 of my 75. So I've only got 15. I'm going to buy a battle cruiser, which cost exactly 15, but now I can't upgrade. So maybe I shouldn't do that. I'm not going to buy any more ships. I think I've got enough for right this second. So that means I'll have 15 left over, and I'm going to do some upgrades here in just a minute. Okay, so that's the start. So we're going to roll to see where the second Doomsday machine appears. Number 6. Okay, he actually appeared in a good spot. Right here. And I say in a good spot because I've got my ships, and also if he comes in here, I can hit him with 3 or 4 ships and build some other ships fairly quickly to get out there. So that's a good thing. Now, once again, this time, the second Doomsday machine will come in, and it will be a, let me see what number, level 3. It's going to have an attack C8, a defense strength of 2, hull size of 7, and number of attacks 4. So it's going to be much harder for me. This one may take a little longer, but we'll see. So yeah. So Doomsday machine appeared. Let's carry those. Let's do this action phase. So now we've got, so he's appeared. He's going to move at the end of my action phases. And once again, I'm going to, so I've got some time. So yeah, I'm actually going to move these ships back to a shipyard so that I can upgrade them. They have to sit there for an entire round. I'm going to move this miner up This miner, I think I'm just going to move, I don't know, here. I'm going to move here to the nebula. So yeah, they move there. So in the second turn, these ships, these capital ships are not going to move, and they're actually going to upgrade. So that's going to end up costing me 1 CP per hull point to gain all the newest technologies. So that's going to be 10. That's going to leave over 5 that I'm going to carry over. But yeah, that's very important. Now all of these ships are the same. So they have Tactics 2, which was the newest upgrade. Let me circle that. They all have Defense 2 and Attack 2 because cruisers can't go higher. You might say, well, why didn't grant you? Because you just got Defense 3. Well, cruisers can't accept up to 3 defense points. And then I did buy Move 2. So I'm going to go ahead and erase that. So now they're all upgraded. And the cool thing about movement in this game, when you upgrade to Move 2, what happens is during your first move, you can move 1 space. Second move, 2 spaces. During the third move, you can move 2 spaces. So you can end up with only 1 additional movement point overall, but that does make a big difference. Once you get up higher, you're going to start moving more. So yeah, there's all my stuff. I've upgraded everything. I've moved my $5 forward, and the Doomsday machine is going to come towards my home planet and attack a colony. So it's probably going to move there. I'm going to know that, so I'm going to move in there, and I'm hopefully going to eradicate this thing. This one's going to be tougher, though. So now, start of economic phase 10, and now you got to remember we have another Doomsday machine coming in at the end of round 11. So they don't quit coming. They come pretty fast and hot and heavy, and that one, I tell you, is much more difficult. So I upgraded everything. Now we're going to do moves. Or finish the moves. I don't think I wanted to do anything else other than get my ships out here. Moving these mineral ships anywhere really isn't important at this point. Not going to do me any good. So yeah, that's the end of round 3. So we go to the beginning of economic phase 10. And he already moves, so it's going to move after I take all my turns. So let's generate our economy. I had 5 carried over, 70. I had no mineral, which is not good. So I have 75 with maintenance of 10. That leaves me with only 65 to buy. So I'm going to buy 2 battle cruisers, which is going to cost me 30. And I'm going to have to break these up because they're bigger and they can't all be built at the same area. Which stinks. So I'm going to build 1 here. But remember, I upgraded Move 2. So they will be able just to get there, which is important. All right, so I bought both of those battle cruisers. So BC times 2, which costs 30. And I have 35 left. I'm actually going to go ahead and build 2 shipyards. Shipyards times 2 would be 12. So that's 42. And I'm putting shipyards out here because I want to be able to use them to create ships in the next round. They're also going to be able to defend. So in this shipyard, I'm just going to move it to a 3. So yeah, that way I can build. So now I have actually enough to build another battle cruiser, but you can't build on the same round you put a shipyard down. That's a basic rule. So I still have 23 left to spend. I'm going to go ahead and invest in Tactics 3 so I can fire before these things. That's going to cost me 25. Oh, it cost me 15, sorry. Yeah, those aren't very expensive, and I don't know why. So that's 57. I still have 8 left over. I think I'm just going to, or should I? Yeah, I'm just going to carry 8 over. So there we go. Bought a battle cruiser, an additional shipyard, invested in Tactics 3. So now I'm ready, and I'm going to be firing before this guy gets to fire. So yeah, let's go ahead and move around. So I'm actually my first move, I'm gonna move here because I want to do some exploring here, potentially. I'm gonna move this mineral ship or mining ship here. This mining ship's gonna go here, although there's nothing to claim. So this battle cruiser will move 1. These ships are going to move here, and they can actually combine. I'll do that here in a moment. And then this battle cruiser is going to move up 1. So that's my first turn in the economic phase. Let's go to turn 2. Miner's not moving. This battle cruiser is going to move. And then this battle cruiser is going to move. And you might say, well, he's not going to be able to get to the battleground. He's only got 1 more movement. No, remember I invested in move 2. So he's going to be able to move 2 hexes next time. So this cruiser, and I think you can see it, he's going to go ahead and just explore. He found an asteroids, so no help. And then he will move in there. And at the end of his turn, he will move in to benefit. So then this guy's going to move out here just to save around in case I explore out there. On my third turn, this battle cruiser is going to make it. This cruiser is going to make it. Miners aren't going to move. And that's everything. So, once again, I'm going to pull the camera back so that we can do a battle. I need to get my sheet out so I can see my ship technology levels. The lonesome Doomsday machine that's fairly powerful. And remember, all my cruisers, you know what? They're not going to have the Tactics 3. Only the battle cruisers will. So that kind of stinks. That's okay. I would think he's the Doomsday machine's going to go for my, because they have the same hull size and the same, I think actually he might go for the cruisers. They're a little easier to hit. So that's probably what we'll play. That's the interesting thing about the scenario. They kind of allow you to make some of the decisions for the Doomsday machine, which I think is fine. All right, so there you can see we've got everything lined up. This Doomsday machine is C8. It has defense strength of 2. It also has tactics of 2. So I'm still going to go first because we're tied. Its hull size is 7, and it also now adds a 4th attack. So it's a little more powerful. I think this is going to be much more of a challenge for me. So, I should be able to fire before it because I have tactics level 2 that ties us, and then I'm going to go. So yeah, I'm going to roll the 2 battle cruisers. The 2 battle cruisers, which were newly built, they have attack level 2. So I'm going to add 2 to their base 5, so that's a 7. Their base defense is a 2. So I'm going to need to be rolling 5s or less. I like the orange dice. Okay, so 1 hit and 1 miss. So I get to put a damage counter on that Doomsday machine. So both of my battle cruisers have fired. Now I'm going to get to fire with five cruisers that have a 4 + 2 attack strength 6 -2 for their defense. They have to roll 4s or less. Okay, only one hit. So you can see my good luck, my good fortune dried up this time, but I still hit him twice. All right, as I said, I think he's going to try to go for my cruisers because I think he can hit them a little more easily and destroy them. He has 4 attacks. His attack strength is an 8. My cruisers have a automatic printed defense of 1, and then we have defense level 2 for a total of 3. So 8 - 3 is 5. So he's simply going to roll 4 times and start with these cruisers and go down in order. Actually, I'm going to roll, sorry, that's not the way you're supposed to do it. I'm going to roll 2 for the first cruiser. Okay. He rolls 2 7s. He misses. So he's going to fire at that same cruiser, rolling a 2 and a 4. So he's actually going to destroy one of my cruisers. So let's go ahead and take that one off the map as a casualty. So there's all 4 of his attacks. We're going to go back to the top. My 2 battle cruisers, once again attacking with a 7 strength, but his 2 defense, needing 5s or less. And I rolled no hits. Then my 4 cruisers, needing 4s or less. And I only got 1 hit. So yeah, you can see my lucky rolls from last time definitely have not carried over. Let's move that over. I'm going to kind of roll to the right. So now back to the Doomsday machine. So he's going to go for my cruisers again. So he's got 2 attacks, needing 8 - 3. He needs 5 or less. Of course, he rolled 2 5s. So he immediately destroyed one of my other cruisers. And this is bound to happen. Same thing here. He's going to roll. He rolled 2 hits. So he destroys another of my cruisers, taking me down to just 2. All right, guys, I'm in trouble because he's got a ship hull size of 7. I need to hit 4 more times to knock this guy out. So back to my 2 battle cruisers. I've got 7s, -2 is 5s or less. Okay, that's a 1 and a 4. So that's very good. So he only needs 2 more hits to die. Put that damage marker there. Now I have my 2 cruisers needing 4s or less. I got 1 hit. So he's still alive for 1 more round. He's going to go back to my cruisers. And you may ask, why is he attacking cruisers? They're easier to hit. I think, once again, they're trying to destroy your numbers and making, when you're easier to hit, because those battle cruisers have a total of a 4 defense, so it's a little harder. You know, I've been messing that up, haven't I? My defense is 3. The cruisers don't get the 3, but the battle cruisers do. So that's okay. They haven't been hit. So he's going to roll his two of his 4 attacks at my first battle cruiser, needing, what am I now? 8 - 3, 5s or less. So he rolled 6 and a 7 for 2 misses. He's going to simply roll again. He scores 1 hit. So one of my cruisers has 1 damage. But I think that's okay because I think I'm going to kill him this time and he won't be able to shoot me back. So my battle cruisers. Attack 7, -2. I need to roll 5s or less. Boom. 2 hits. I have successfully destroyed Doomsday machine number 2 with 7 total damage. It had 7 hull size. This damage is removed from my ship, and I've now defeated the second. So let's go ahead, and these battle cruisers can go in the same space. They have the same technologies. I'll get rid of that battle cruiser. And you can see the battle cruisers are just a little bit better than the cruisers, which is what you would expect. And you know what? I forgot to fight with my shipyards. Man, I'm forgetting everything. I apologize. When that Doomsday machine moved into my hex with shipyards, those shipyards become a defender. So I should have had the opportunity to attack with them. But that's okay. It is what it is. This is not the first mistake I've made during this playthrough, and it most likely will not be the last. You're out there laughing at me. I understand. It's a little bit nerve-wracking doing these videos. I'm getting a little better at it, and I hope my future ones are much, much better. So there you go. That's the end of round 10. I'm going to carry over. We're going to round 11. I'm going to carry over my 8. We're going to roll for the location of Doomsday Machine number 3. It's going to appear in space number 3, which is right there. So I'm going to have to kind of move back to get over there in time. That's okay. I think I'll be okay. Now the difference between, let me show you the difference between what I've already fought, and I didn't roll for weakness either. DM Strength 5, you can see it has a B9, and Defense Strength is 2, hull size is 8, so it's going to take 8 hits rather than 7, and it will add an additional attack at 5. So they do get better. And frankly, I think that colony is going to get destroyed. I don't know that I can get out there in time to really necessarily do anything. But we'll see. All right. Colony. Grow colonies. Have no colonies to grow. My production is still at 70. I had no minerals. So 78. And now my maintenance costs are really, really going to kick in. Although I've lost several ships. So I have 2 cruisers. That's going to cost me 4. 2 battle cruisers is going to cost me 8. No turn order bid. So that means I have 70 to spend at this point. All right. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to invest in Attack 3 for my battle cruisers. Which costs 25. Tactics, I've got up to 3. I do need to do some upgrades. I think I'm going to invest in ship size 5, which is 20. That now allows me to build battleships, which I will probably build one this time. So yeah, that's 45. That leaves me 25. A battleship costs 20. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build my first BB. So that leaves me with 5. And I think I need to upgrade my battle cruisers. So yeah, I'll be able to do that. Okay, so I better make note of that. I'm going to upgrade those 2 battle cruisers. So there we go through my movement phases for these 3 turns. You know, my miners are just at this point really unnecessary. I know that the Doomsday machine is coming here. I just simply need to get there. I do need to put out my battleship, my BB1. So I'm actually going to put him here because that shipyard can do 3 hull size points, which is good. Yeah, so movements, I'm literally just going to move the ships that can over. I've got no other moves. Then I'll move again, and I think I'm just going to give up that colony. I don't want to waste my battle ship. So then their other move would be here. Sorry. Well, having some trouble with my big fat fingers. There we go. So that's turn 3 of that economic phase. We're now going to see the Doomsday Machine move. There are none of my ships in there, so what happens is, normally in the game, you have to make fire attempts. He doesn't have to make fire attempts. He actually destroys the colony. So I'm going to return that to my... And he destroys the underlying planet. So Hoth is gone. So Vader found him, and they blew him up. Now, the next place the Doomsday Machine will move will be this colony because it gets him closer, one step closer to my home. And that's what they would do. Oh, you know what? These battle cruisers should be one step behind because I forgot to upgrade them. Remember, they have to sit for an entire turn in a shipyard, spend the money. I spent 4 CP for 4 hull size to bring them up to all the current technologies, which is attack 3 and defense 3. Well, you know, they can't get attack or defense 3. Only battleships can, so I didn't need to do that. So yeah, they're moving there. So that gets that 4 back. I carry over 5. So now the Doomsday Machine's going to move, and the game could be over at this point. So it moves after I've done all my moves. Let's go ahead and... Yeah, it's going to be a tough battle. I've got to get some better rolls than I did last time. I felt like I really got bad rolls. So Doomsday Machine number 3. We're going to go ahead and stockpile some damage markers. There's going to be significant damage. I know there is. And I'm also going to bring my shipyards into the fight, which is risky because, you know, they're going to get to attack, but they can be destroyed. Which, you know, is part of the game. And I think at this point, I think I'm going to win. Even if I don't destroy this Doomsday Machine here, I'm going to build up enough Navy to go ahead and go out and finish it, because it will carry over its wounds. It will actually heal some as it destroys planets. So it destroyed that planet, but I had done no damage to it, so therefore it didn't have any damage to heal. So let me finish with the stinking cuckoo clock ring, and I hate that thing, by the way. All right, so I've lined in my battle lines. This Doomsday Machine is a B, so it's going to be here. But you need to remember, I upgraded Tactics 3 before I built those battle cruisers, so I'm actually going to fire first with them, so that's important. All right, so my battleship and my battle cruisers. My battleships, let me turn over to my ship side with my technologies. My battleships have attack 3 and defense 3. So he's going to get 1 attack at an 8 minus the DM machines or Doomsday Machines 2. So I have to roll 6s. So I have to roll 6s or less. So boom, I hit. Nice job. Doggone it. So I did 1 damage. So let's put a damage counter. Now we move on to my next firing category of B, which are my battle cruisers. They have attack 2. They're a 7 minus 2. They need 5s or less. So I rolled a 9 and a 6, and they miss. So now I still have tactics higher than the Doomsday machine. I have tactics 3. So I'm now going to get 2 attacks with my cruisers at a 6, because they can only handle attack 2, although I have attack 3 technology. So a 6 minus 2, they're going to need 4s or less. And I roll an 8 and a 10. Then my 2 shipyards have the 3 technology, so they 6 minus 2, they need 4s or less. I hit once. So yeah, not a great round for the forces of Grant. All right, so this Doomsday machine now gets 5 attacks. Jeez. And it fires at B9. I'm an idiot. I should have fired. Oh, I'm losing my mind. So B9, I think what it's going to do, it's going to attack those cruisers again, because that seemed, they're going to go for the battleships. Or not the battleships, the battle cruisers. Because the battle cruisers don't have that additional defense bonus. So I'm going to roll 2 on the first ship with an attack 9 minus 1 printed, minus 3, or a 6. He needs to roll 6 or less, and of course he rolls 2. So I will destroy 1 battle cruiser. He's got 2 more attacks on that same group. What did I say I needed to roll less than? So he's a 9, 6. So yeah, he destroys my next battle cruiser. Wow. And then he's still got 1 attack. He's going to go for 1 of my cruisers, needing a 6 or less. 1 hit. My gosh. He rolled really well. I rolled really crappy. So I still have to hit him 6 times. I'm not thinking this battle's going to go my way. That's okay. Let's go with let's do it right this time. My battleship is let me see again. He's an attack 3. Yeah, so I'm an 8 minus 2. I need 6s or less. 6 or less. Gotta hit. Now the Doomsday machine is going to fire. It's going to take its 5 attacks. It's going to fire 1 attack at the cruiser that's wounded, needing 9 minus 6s or less, and he hits, so he destroys the wounded cruiser. And that's 1 attack. He's going to take 2 attacks at that next cruiser needing 6s or less. Hits once. So he's got 1 more attack needing a 6 or less. So he destroys my cruiser. Wow. And you can see why that's so powerful, that the ship can shoot before my units. So my shipyards, I have 2 of them. They're attacking on a power of 6, minus 2. They need 4s or less to hit. They hit twice. Very good. So there's 4. So he's got 5 damage. I need 3 more hits. Back to the top of the round. My battle cruiser, 8 minus 2 needs 6 or less. I rolled a 10. Doomsday machine's going after the battleship that has a defense 5. So it's going to need 4s or less. Hitting once. And he has 1 more attack, hitting twice. So he's still alive. That's good. Now my shipyards get to attack back. Once again, a 6 minus 2 is a 4. They need 4s or less. 1 hit. So I'm 2 shots away from killing this thing. My battleship's attacking at an 8 minus 2 is a 6. I rolled a 5, so I do 1 final damage. Now the Doomsday. Doomsday is going to roll 1 at a time against my battleship, which has defense 5. He needs 4s or less. A miss. A miss. A miss. A hit. So he hit and killed me. And now my shipyards have to withstand 1 attack. So the shipyard is going to go down to a 1. All right, so here's the roll. If I can make this roll, I'm going to win the game. If not, I will have to regroup, and I will most likely fairly easily destroy him next turn. So I have a 3 base attack, plus 3 attack, that's 6, minus 2 for the defense of the Doomsday Machine. I need 4s or less. Bingo. I rolled a 1. My shipyard does the final damage, destroying Doomsday number 3, machine number 3, winning the game for Space Empires, for my Space Empire. So there you go, guys. I actually didn't expect this to end this quickly. I thought I was going to have a little rougher time. Frankly, I rolled pretty well at the beginning, and I had some good ships there pretty quickly. So overall, even with shooting these videos, I played this game in about 2 hours and 45 minutes. That included probably 30 to 40 minutes of additional instruction, strategy discussion, finer points, going over things, catching you up, etc. So you can see this game, if you know the rules, you can play it in about 100 minutes. You can add in the advanced rules, which will make for a more advanced game. You'll start using things called, let me just show you really quickly, MS Pipeline. These are ships, they are merchant ships that you are going to buy and build, connecting colonies with your home planet, which are going to give you 1 extra CP for that activation round. So you can see you'll be able to build out to some of your nearby colonies and gain 3 to 5 more construction points every round. That's important. You can develop fighter technology, carriers. You can use raiders. You can cloak. If your opponent is using cloaking, you're going to need to build destroyers and equip them with scanners. So that's one thing I like about this game. You're going to be required to do a lot of that stuff. Now, obviously in this scenario, you're not going to need that. But in the other Solitaire scenario in the base game, which is called the Alien Empire, you're going to need that because they're going to send those ships against you. So there definitely are some good Solitaire options for Space Empires. This is a fun game. You have to pay attention. There is a little bit of paperwork, as you saw me make errors time and time again. There's paperwork. You're going to have to go back and change some things sometimes. It just depends on what happens. But this was a look at the Doomsday 1-player variant. I enjoyed it. It's fun. I think it really teaches you the basics of the game and gets you a base understanding of what you need to be doing in order to do well at Space Empires. So I hope you enjoyed this series of videos. This was number 3 out of that series. This will conclude this playthrough. I most likely won't do it anytime soon, but I've thought about doing the Alien Empire scenario playthrough. It's a little more complex, a little more difficult, requires a lot more bookkeeping, but it is a lot more interactive. I played it one time and it is I think much better than this Solitaire scenario. But once again, this is fun. It kind of scratches that itch of playing this game when you can't find a couple of other opponents. So I hope you liked the video. If you did, please like and subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you thought about the playthrough, what you liked, what you thought we can improve upon. We're trying to get these things right, and it does take a lot of effort, time, and work. And I just want to make sure that we're doing something that our audience and our viewers enjoy and find beneficial. So thanks for watching, guys. If you want to check out our blog, thePlayersAid.com, we typically review war games and the like. We also do designer interviews, session reports, strategy articles, various unboxing and other videos, video reviews. We try to make sure we have a lot of good content on the blog. We post somewhere between 6 and 7 times a week between Alexander and myself, and it's been a lot of fun doing that. So thanks for watching. I've been Grant for thePlayersAid.com. Thank you.